Hello, dear listeners. We are super happy to have with us, so I'm going to try to make it properly, Primoz Lemez. So, Primoz, welcome
Very
on
good.
board.
Very good.
Happy to have you on the podcast. So,
Thank you very much. It's our pleasure as well.
excellent. Before we start, can you tell us what type of business you are running? If you are a solopreneur, a CEO, a business owner, if you have a team, no team?
Yeah, I am a business owner and also the CEO of my company. I'm working mainly in the promotion of e-mobility and sustainable transport and green energy. I work in a region like, let's say, Adriatic region. Nobody want to hear Balkan, but it's yes, basically it's Balkan, but everybody calls that now Adriatic region.
It's more poetic. The
Well, I don't know.
Adriatic.
It's Balkan. It's very nice name.
Yeah.
It's a Turkish name for honey and blood.
Oh, okay, nice.
Because this region was had or even have a lot of wars, a lot of blood everywhere. But in the other hand, it's very beautiful. It's very let's say green nature, a lot of raw materials. So it's really a wealthy region if he's speaking about that. So yes, it's the right name. The Balkan, it's really what this region is.
Okay, okay. I think that in people's mind, when you say Adriatic, you see the sea, and when you see Balkan, you see mountains. So it
Yeah,
doesn't have the same impact on the brain.
yeah.
So, okay, thanks for that. So, first question, like for everyone, is what was up to now what you would call as a business owner, as a CEO, your biggest success, your biggest triumph?
Well, in private or in business?
Let's stick to business. Then
Uh,
you can go to private too, of course.
Yeah, the business I it's really difficult to say, but maybe my consistent and now I'm one of the most known person not only in the region but also in the Europe about the e-mobility and sustainable mobility, green energy. So I have a lot of invitation to have some lectures everywhere in the Europe, also in the world. So maybe this that I was consistent and I really believed 15 years ago that e-mobility is the future, and now it's not future anymore. It's
Yeah.
reality and it's here and now.
Okay. So, and what made you think 15 years ago that was a good idea?
Just feeling.
Okay.
I do some researches, but at that time it was really you need to be brave to go in this direction because the cars are awful. They have, I don't know, 100 kilometers range. But if you drive only downhill and if you have the wind from the back
Yeah,
and
those were the first cars. Yeah.
yeah, it was really a little bit funny and everybody laugh about that. But I know that progress will come, and if we have the EC cars for 150 years and we don't do any progress last 30 years, the progress was really tiny, and we need to have some, let's say, fraud about the emissions and so on. So you know that it's end of some era, and that we need to have something new. And I made a research about hydrogen, about some other things, and I decided that I think the electric energy will be the leading energy for the next, I don't know how long, but
Mm.
the next step is for sure electric energy and electric vehicles.
Okay. Okay. And what, because now we talked about the nice things, let's talk about something that hurt a little bit more. What were your biggest failures? Your, the things from what you learned. Well, did you learn something from failures? Do you agree that we learn from failures, or were
Yes,
you always a
yes.
super successful guy?
Yeah, and I make the same mistake all the time. So uh, I couldn't learn from my mistake, and
Okay.
this is my biggest failure because the money is not the most important for me. So I really invest sometimes too much, let's say, in the conference or in the promotion I do. I don't have so many sponsors, or I just get a little bit money out of that. So no, I'm not a wealthy person, and I could be, of course, if I take care more of about money and incomes. But I'm not the kind of person I already okay with that.
Okay. So from a business perspective, I mean, most people want to grow their business, want to make more money, more reputation. So how do you handle that? Because if you're not that much onto money, you may miss some opportunities or some chances to grow. How do you how do you cope with that? How do you feel about that? How do you handle that?
Maybe the problem is that I never think a lot of money, because I was okay if I live okay, if I don't collect the money somewhere in the bank, or that I don't have beautiful cars. Anyway, I have
Sure.
a lot of beautiful cars, and I already had everything. So I'm just take care more about the family, about the free times, about to be in good relationship with my business partners. So that was one reason, and I really not the guy who could earn sometimes a lot of money out of the lottery, let's say.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm just happy. I'm just happy I can live how I live. I am quite happy with that, and for me, it's much more important that people around me are happy, and that the sponsors, that the I don't know, the people who reading my articles, or the people who are in our conferences like guests, are happy with that, and I feel much better than I learn a lot of money and everybody are satisfied.
Okay. So interestingly, you're mentioning partners. Do you also have employees?
No, I have part-time employees,
Okay.
and the biggest help in my company is my son. He's really clever, much more clever than me. That's very good, actually. And now he takes a little bit more care about money and the incomes and everything like that. He always reminds me, "Did you get that money?" And
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I really happy that I have him, and that he's also decide to be the part of automotive business, and it seems that my grandson is go on the same direction.
Okay. So, and when you have partners and when you, like you said, are more interested into your family happiness and so on, which is absolutely fantastic, but you may have also partners. I don't know. I'm just asking. Maybe partners are more interested in making more money and so on. If that's the case, how do you handle that difference of mindset?
Actually, my partners are the partners who need to pay to be the part of our conferences. They are sponsors.
Okay.
And I can
Okay.
say that quite happy with our cooperation, because I have for many, many years the same sponsors and the same partners. So this is, let's say, achievement somehow, because sometimes the partners come, they are not satisfied, and they go, and you don't have it for the next year or for the
Yeah.
next conferences. But actually, I have more and more partners, and the partners who are here and who was with me in the past are still here. Okay, maybe 1 year no, because they don't have anything to show, but
Yeah.
uh, they are still here, and whenever I call, whenever I organize something, I can always count of them. So maybe this
Okay.
is also achievement.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's an achievement. Oh, definitely having people who come back to you, that's quite a great achievement. Recurring business is always amazing. So, and what other things did you learn over all those years of being a CEO, a business owner? What was difficult? What made you grow? What experiences did help you to learn?
The decisions are always most difficult. So uh, you need to decide something. And the night before you decide something, or the weeks you decide something, it's always more difficult because you have doubt. You have I don't know, you don't calculate everything you think you should. And you need to decide, or you go in one direction, or you will not go in one direction. And that was the most difficult part to be CEO. When you decide, it's everything easy.
Okay.
It's really easy. So you decide something and you go in that direction. You do that. And just before that, a few days before you need to decide is the most difficult part of the business. This is what I felt.
Okay. So as you know, decision making is is my passion. So what drives when you have those last minute thoughts and so on and have to make that decision? What do you think drives that decision? Whatever the decision is.
I think passion. I
Uh-huh.
think passion, yes. You know, it's decisions are not always rational.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes it's also irrational. So you go, you know that you will have a lot of problem, but you would like to do that. And this is the thing here when you decide, okay, I go this, I will have problem. Maybe I also have the shortage of money and so on, but you still decide you go there because you have passion to do that. And when you decide you do that, then it's easier. So you try to lose as less money as you could. You found the new partners. You found to you need to found some other solution. But when you decide, then it's easy. But before you decide, you have some hard times.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah,
So,
and you understand this, yeah.
yeah. So, what else have you learned during all that journey as a business owner?
That the friendships is when you establish the friendship with the partners is the most important. So when you really can trust to someone, or when you when somebody tells you something, you know that he think or she thinks serious and that really helps you. This is one of the most important thing in business. So when you have the trusts friends or partners, this is one of the most important thing you can learn. Okay, sometimes you can learn a lot of much more money than you learn, but it's depends. Maybe next time you will not have that partners anymore. And sometimes I think it's very easy to work in big countries like Italy, or like, I don't know, Germany, or
Hmm.
like Great Britain or France, because these partners, maybe the same partners, the same companies, have a much more income. So when I organize the conference, it's the same. If I organize the conference in Belgrade, or if I organize the conference in Paris, you have the same amount of work. You need to do everything.
Right.
It's much more easy to get more money in Paris than in Belgrade. So this is the difference between small countries and the big countries.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
it's the same like I don't know, the newspapers or anything like this. You know, you need to write the article. So if they read, I don't know, 100,000 people, or to read 1 million people, you have the same amount of work. You
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
print that. You need to deliver that. But the money out of million, it's much more than
Absolutely.
100,000. So this is the different how if you work in a small country or in a big country.
So here's a bit of a vicious question then. So why would you still travel in small countries because I mean, from the business side, based on what you said, from on that perspective, it would make more sense to go to big countries where it's easier to get more than to smaller countries.
I was thinking about that. I have one invitation, let's say 25 or 27 years ago to go to Great Britain. And I just made a calculation what I can get or what my family can get. And because of the family, I decided I will not go and I will not take this quite nice opportunity because at that time, just earn enough money to live quite good.
Hmm.
And here I was born, when uh, where you are born in some kind, it's difficult to live the area. I was born in ex-Yugoslavia.
Okay.
This was, let's say, not a big country, but we have 22 million people. We have everything what we want. People just say that we live in some, I don't know, socialistic system, but it was not really hard. We went to Italy or to Austria every week, so it was not forbidden to travel around
Right.
and we have a lot of friends. So you just grown up in this region and somehow you love it, even that it's a very problematic region, that from the past. And yeah, sometimes it's hard to leave the home soil and to even if you can make let's say not much more money, but more money than but in the last few years now, my children are grown up, and I sometimes thinking to move my activities also in some, let's say, in France or in Germany. But
Hmm.
till now, I didn't decide it.
Okay. Okay. Because yeah, I think it's also interesting that those smaller countries, if we can call them like that, I always thought that there is more energy. I gave a keynote recently, a few weeks back in Armenia. First time I went to Armenia. And though you can feel that there is a very different energy. They are hungry, between quotes, hungry between quotes. They want it. In comparison to big countries where everything's there. So yes, we want to grow our business, but it's not the same
Energy,
desire.
yeah, the same
Yeah.
desire, the same energy, and in this small country, you don't have a lot of people who are working this region. So you need to learn anything by yourself.
Mm,
So I need to know everything almost, like charging station, electric vehicles, the grid operators, everything. So when I compare with my colleagues from the West, I see that I have much wider knowledge about these
okay.
things because they are specialized for, I don't know, for charging stations, or the other is
Mm,
uh, I don't know, specialize in the EVs. The third one is, so I need to know everything about that. So this is our big advantage in small countries.
interesting, interesting. So for our listeners, what would be a key takeaway or a lesson you want them to walk away with and keep in their mind at the end of this podcast?
Um, I just say maybe it's a little bit popular, but just to follow your dreams. So the money is not everything. So you can have millions in your bank account, but you cannot be happy with that. So I think it's much more important that you work what you like and what you would like to do, and the money will come. And this is if you're chasing the money, maybe you can chase this, but you will not be happy. So first of all, I think you need to work and you need to do what you really desired, or what you really
Mm,
want, or what you really like. That's the most important. And this is okay. You don't have millions in your bank account, but you could be much more happy than if you have millions and you don't like what you work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Primoz. So if people want to talk more with you, learn more about what you are doing, where can they find you? What's the best place to get hold of you?
Yeah, I have just e-mobility SC webpage, and all the data and all our activities are there. So emobility.sc. They
Okay.
can find me very easily there.
Okay, super. So guys, you know it now. Go catch Primoz there. So I want to thank you for your time, for sharing with us. It's really appreciated. I hope we have you very soon on the podcast.
Thank you very much for invitation. It was nice to chat with you.